Hard life this sailing biz.
Yeah, it's pleasant, isn't it?
In this episode, we recross the Saronic Gulf, testing the Jenny, cooking, fishing along the way before anchoring in Epidavros. The highlight of this ancient town were a peaceful night's sleep, a walking tour, and snorkeling on the sunken city.
Today we are leaving the little town of Vari, which we have very much enjoyed, and heading pretty much due west across to the other side of the Saronic Gulf. It's a bit overcast today, but there's also a bit of wind, so fingers crossed we can sail most of the way. Just entered the Saronic Gulf, both the sails are up. There's only about 11 knots of breeze, so we're not going very fast. You can see the coast of Athens there, so for the next 10 miles or so up, that's all the way up into Athens. And we will shortly be crossing the traffic separation scheme, so we have to be fairly careful crossing that one. And then heading off. Hopefully the wind picks up a little bit more to make us go a little bit faster, but downwind sailing, fairly quiet, fairly pleasant, and relatively calm, which is nice. We've also challenged ourselves today to get the little generator going. We don't have a fixed generator in this boat. We've got a little portable 2 kilowatt generator. So we're going to try and get that up and running. So far we've been very fortunate with the solar that it's charged the batteries to max every day. A bit more overcast today, so we'll see how it goes. We're going to get the generator out just for our experience so we can understand how it works. Step 1, consult the instructions.
Check the air cleaner.
Strange gypsy.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Ready?
Thinking about it. Has it got fuel?
Yeah. I didn't see a pump. Oh, right on.
Well, that sounded better.
Didn't it?
Generator started. The next part of the evolution is to plug it into our shore power socket and just see how quickly it charges the batteries, because we're at about 89% now. We had the freezer on for the first time last night and it certainly took a bit more battery, and also it's a bit cloudy today, so just testing out all our systems. The wind died, so we pulled the head sail in and we're motoring across the traffic separation scheme just to make sure we stay away and out of the way of all the merchant ships around. Dreaming.
Probably. Dreams are free.
We're giving fishing a go, and we're flying for the traffic separation scheme under engine, so I don't think it's hugely likely that we'll find a fish. Of all the things this boat has, it doesn't have fishing rod holders. Have to add it to our wish list. It is lunchtime, it's fairly calm out there. We are still motoring, so I've decided to cook us some lunch today. And I'm making something up. It's grease, so I started with onions and capsicums and some sort of spicy paprika sausage. Gonna add some tomato and then maybe some eggs. Maybe it's like a shashuka. I don't know. We'll see what happens. And now I've added some eggs. This is a total experiment. We're just passing the northeastern tip of Aegina Island. I'm totally sure what this town's like, but there's a couple of anchorages. We're going to check them out on the way past, just to see if it's somewhere we want to anchor in the future when the winds are a different way. And like a lot of parts of Greece, if you look on the hilltops, you can see some sort of ancient ruins. There's so many that half of them aren't even marked. And here's the result. I'm not sure it's going to look so good when it comes out, but I hope it tastes good. Here you go.
Thanks, sweetie. Wow, that was amazing. Woo! Yeah.
The wind has picked up a little bit and we are back to sailing. It is a downwind sail, so it feels very quiet. Everything's calm and there's almost no motion, so it is beautiful sailing. Hard life this sailing biz?
Yeah, it's pleasant, isn't it? I think we're getting a little bit more wind this afternoon. We might be able to jibe around and head to our destination.
Our destination's sort of that way, but we're going that way because of where the wind is. But at least we don't have the engines running. We've just come past the island. I think it's Dakini Island. And the winds have all changed, which is great because it now means we can sail pretty much directly to where we want to go. There's about 7 knots of true wind, which isn't much, but we're making 4.5 knots, so it's a great little course. Any fish yet?
No fish. There's no fish in the mid.
Every other fisherman in Greece seems to be able to catch fish. We can't, although we've only tried once, admittedly. As we arrive in Epidavros South, the day has turned out quite crappy, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's a horrible sea. It's right on the beam, it's pretty messy. Like water, worst kind of sea almost if you're steering.
It's only been out for the last hour or so, but it's also quite dark and overcast, so it's only like 3:30, but it feels much later. We're heading into one of the only protected anchorages on this side. We've also seen about 4 other boats just go in, so hopefully there's room. If there's not, we've got a plan B, which is about 5 miles further down the coast. After a horrible last hour of sailing and some pretty rough conditions once we came into anchor, the weather has just turned. It is now calm, beautiful, peaceful, clear skies. Like, it's a perfect night in Greece. Maybe Greece is like Melbourne in terms of if you don't like the weather, just wait 10 minutes. We've woken up to a beautiful sight this morning. It is nice and calm. Last night it felt like we were staying in a hotel. There was no movement at all. And today we're going to head into town and explore South Epidavros. It's a huge commute into town. It's all of what, 100 metres? It's such a good spot.
Either way, but
Yeah, we're getting 40, 45. It starts getting a bit uncomfortable after that because it starts to flap a tiny bit.
well, we'd be pretty little town.
Sure?
That's a sweet, isn't it?
I think so.
What do you reckon it is?
Don't?
Senor, and just one. That's sweet.
We continue our tour of bakeries. We've found another one, and so Newtown, you have to try the bakery. It's just the rules.
Baked goods for lunch. I'm having a calzone.
It's only a small town, but there are very cute little streets around here, with a lot of drivers that definitely want to take you out. We checked out town, now heading south to the beach that has this sunken city. We haven't got our wetsuits or our swimming gear, but we're just going to go for a walk across the countryside and see what it's like. Anchor there for a couple of hours. There's a few ancient ruins around here, and this is the first one we've stumbled across. This is the Tomb of the Doctors. Well, that sounds like us. We made it. We think it's just out there. We're going to have to come back with the boat so we can chuck all our swim gear and dive gear on and go have a look. Got little cells underneath. Our next stop is the Ancient Theatre at Demos of Epidavros. I have no idea if that's correct. You can't actually get in, but it's still very impressive even from behind the fence.
They've built the stage.
Yeah. And there are plenty of sites around the amphitheatre, and it's clear they are still excavating it. Found a sign to the Church of Mary, had to follow it, and here we are. Has a pretty amazing view, and I think we can possibly see our home from up here.
We can, this is poking through the trees.
A few overgrown trees in the way, but still a very nice spot for a church.
We should look for the information sign a bit more carefully because it would have shown us the quick way, the thing we missed, and there's a few other attractions in town actually that we maybe need to go and have a look at too.
Back in town, it hasn't rained too much. We're actually hoping it does rain so we can get out and scrub the decks with the fresh water from nature, not our fresh water. Alice found a coffee shop and so of course we had to stop for a coffee.
I now order a double espresso and then I indicate I'd like some hot water in it. The Americanos are gross.
There is one last thing that we want to do at Epidavros, and that is to go and swim on the sunken city, which we believe is only about 1.5 meters below the surface. So we're going to just head out of this bay, anchor around in the next bay, well clear of it, and then swim down onto it and have a look. And it is also an incredibly beautiful morning. It's very still, super peaceful. The fishing boats are just coming in as we're heading out. And we are now anchored just to the north of the ancient sunken city that we're now going to jump in and have a look at.
We're up to Epidavros' sunken city. Oh, it is brisk. My first ever archaeological snorkel. Whilst not a city so much as a large Roman villa, this ancient site included lots of interesting features to explore by snorkel, and we discovered that there are fish in the med after all.
And that's it, we are out of here, off to Poros, which is about 22 miles away. Hopefully the wind will pick up because there's nothing at the moment. I've really enjoyed Epidavros. It was a fun place and it was lovely to go for a swim, although the water is still pretty cold. How cold? There's all the fish.
The Pacific! Not the Mediterranean, I've said that.
We've been fishing for at least 2 hours and I would think by now we've got a huge fish, but we haven't.
Paul Whitman blames his tools.